Doctors, what made you realize a patient's family was the real problem? I was the physical therapist for a young woman named Chloe. She was 22 and recovering from a severe car accident. Her progress was incredibly slow, frustratingly slow. Her mother, Linda, was at every single session. She'd hover, constantly telling Chloe, "Don't push yourself too hard, sweetie, or maybe that's enough for today." At first, I saw it as the actions of a concerned parent. But after a few weeks, it started to feel off. Linda would answer questions for Chloe. If I asked Chloe how her pain was on a scale of 1 to 10, Linda would jump in with, "Oh, it's a 7 today, she was up all night." Chloe would just nod silently. The "something's wrong" feeling really hit me during one session when Linda was late. For the first 10 minutes, it was just me and Chloe. She was like a different person. She was engaged, she pushed herself, and she completed a set of exercises she'd never been able to do before. Then Linda walked in and Chloe immediately crumpled, wincing in pain and saying she was too tired to continue. The change was so drastic it was chilling. I knew I couldn't accuse a parent without concrete proof. So I devised a small test. I gave Chloe a very simple set of exercises to do at home, things I knew she could handle. I told her and Linda to keep a log of when she did them. At the next session, Linda presented a perfectly filled out log, but I had given Chloe a special putty to use for grip strength exercises, and I discreetly weighed it before and after. The weight was exactly the same. She hadn't used it once. Linda had filled out the entire log with lies. That was my earned discovery. Linda wasn't helping Chloe recover, she was actively preventing it. She was terrified of Chloe getting better and regaining her independence. I had to handle it carefully. I requested a meeting with Chloe's primary care physician, Dr. Evans, and insisted that for confidentiality reasons, I needed to speak with Chloe alone first. I presented my findings to Chloe. I showed her the logbook her mother had filled out, and then I showed her my own notes on her progress, highlighting the day her mother was late. She just stared at the papers, her eyes filling with tears. "I didn't want to believe it," she whispered. "Every time I feel better, she finds a reason for me to be sick again." The climax came when we brought Dr. Evans and Linda into the room. Linda started her usual routine, talking about how fragile Chloe was. Dr. Evans, an authoritative older woman, listened patiently. Then she turned to Chloe. "Chloe, how do you feel?" Before Chloe could answer, Linda said, "She's exhausted. This is too much for her." Dr. Evans held up a hand. "I'd like to hear it from Chloe, please." Chloe took a deep breath. "I feel strong enough to walk out of this hospital on my own," she said, her voice shaking but clear. "And I'd like my medical decisions to be discussed with me directly from now on." Linda's face went white. She started to argue, to insist Chloe wasn't well enough. Dr. Evans just looked at her calmly and said, "Linda, your daughter is an adult. We are legally obligated to respect her wishes." That was it. The power dynamic shattered in that one sentence. My aunt is my legal medical proxy now, and the court order is framed on her wall.